12-2, Frequency and Histograms. Frequency is the number of data values in an interval. So if we have a set of numbers, 13, 3, 11, 6, 12, 5, 15, 9, 14, 2, 17, 7, 18, 10, we can set up a frequency table. We worry about intervals. We always need some tally marks and frequency. So we look at our set of numbers and we figure out we're going from 2 up to 18. So if I go from 0 to 20, I can set up my intervals. I did from 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 through 16, 17 through 20 for my intervals. And then I go through and I go 13, mark it, 3, mark, 11, 6, 12, 5, 15, 9 is in this interval, 14, 2, 17, 7, 18, and 10. So then I always double check that I have the same amount. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of them. So I have all I need. And then I go over and tally them, add them together, and write them in the frequency. So 1 through 4 happened twice. 5 through 8 happened, there's 3 of them. 9 through 12, 4. 13 through 16, 3. 17 through 20, there was 2 of them in that interval. And now I have my frequency table completed. I can move on and start with my histogram. And what a histogram is a graph that can display data from a frequency table. It has 1 bar for each interval with no gaps between bars and are equal width. So if you think about your bar graphs, they have the separate bar. A histogram is all together and you don't have the separate bars at all. So if I go back to my data, get everything to fit on here. All right. So I have my 1 to 4 was 2, so I look at my table and I'd go up to 2 and I'd fill it in. 5 to 8 was 3 and I make my next bar. 9 to 12 was 4. 13 through 16 was 3. And then my last one, 17 through 20, was 2. And I've completed my histogram. So when we make our histograms, we need to learn how to describe them. And we can talk about uniform histograms, where they're roughly all the same height. I made a little sketch over here where they're all the same height. If they're symmetric, there's a vertical line that can divide the image into mirror image. So the one I had graphed is a symmetrical histogram. If I put my pencil down there, it's reflected on both sides. Or the skewed has a peak that is not in the center. So your peak could be over on one side, descending down, or descending up to it. And those are your type ways to refer to your histograms. And then the last thing we can talk about today is our cumulative frequency table. Why aren't you recording?